Oh, I'm so happy you're with me today. Look at this coolness that we are going to do. It's called a Kumihimo braiding, and it's just a type of weaving. We are going to use some yarn or string today, whatever you have at home. And here's what we need. We're going to need 7 pieces of yarn. And if you want to hold it up, like hold it up to your nose with one hand and then stretch your arm out. That's a nice way to measure fabric or string sometimes. And you can cut them all the same length. It kind of depends on what you want to make. Like this one is pretty long and it used most of that length. But if you wanted to make it a bracelet, look how much shorter you would probably need it. You would need only about that much. So you wouldn't need quite so much yarn. So you can just figure out, play around and start one out and see how much you might need. But you do want your lengths of yarn to be the same. Then you're going to need scissors and a little piece of cardboard. So I don't know if you're kind of like us at our house. That Amazon truck, it somehow, I don't know, delivers it to us all the time. And we get this fabulous cardboard from them. So you can ask an adult at home. You just need a little piece of, a little square of cardboard, a nice sturdy cardboard. Okay. When you get your square, this is going to be super easy. We are just going to cut at each corner, and we want to leave a little bit of space. So I don't want you to cut it to where you don't have, like you're not going to start here and cut across. You want to leave a little bit of a space and just cut that corner, because what we need are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little spaces on our cardboard. And at each of those spaces, I'm going to cut up into my cardboard, maybe like a little 1/2 inch or so. And we're going to have 8 cuts, 8 slots. Okay. And with my pencil, I'm going to go pretty much in the center, and super carefully, I'm just going to poke my pencil through and get a hole in that center spot. Okay. Please ask an adult at home to help you with that step and this next step, because we need to get our little loom piece ready for our weave. Okay. One thing we're going to get ready with our yarn, we need to get all of these ends pretty much the same at the same spot, and we're going to tie a knot at one end of your strings. And you're going to follow along. I know you can do it. It might take some practice, but this is a really great skill that's so helpful whenever you are using yarn to weave, or even in sewing. It's so, so helpful. Your 2 fingers, your yarn is wrapping around them, and it's going to cross. Now I'm going to wiggle it off of my fingers, and I need to get all 7 of these strings around the back of my circle. And so it needs to be big enough, because you need to pop all 7 of them through. Okay. Now I'm going to just maybe like a finger's length of yarn at the top, and then a nice knot. Okay. Now we're going to come to the other end, and we're just going to twist, twist, twist this strip, all of these together, and I'm going to just fold it so it's a nice tight little bundle of yarn. And this part's a little bit tricky too, but we're going to wiggle that bundle as best we can. Now I like this trick. Again, this is probably going to be a step for an adult at home to help you with, okay? We're going to do the best we can to sort of push that, a few of those cords. I might need to make mine just a little bit bigger. A few of those cords through that hole. And because we twisted them, once I can pull from the other side, a few, they'll all come. Okay, now we don't want to push our knot through the hole because we don't want the hole too big so that our knot pulls through the hole. Okay, we want that knot to stop and not come through. Okay, next step, we have to get each, we're going to turn it. So we want the knot and those little ends at the bottom. Okay, they're hanging at the bottom. Now this part is facing up to you, and we're going to take each string and we're just going to sort of hook it into these little slits that we cut into our cardboard. And we have 7 pieces of yarn and 8 slits. Oh my goodness. So look what's going to happen here. Okay, kind of tight. You want them nice and secure. Now, we are going to always keep an empty slot to our body. Okay, it can face, just think of it like facing your tummy or your chest. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 on my right side. If you're left-handed, you're just going to go on the other side and do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to, from the bottom, I'm just going to pick that yarn up out of its spot, and I'm going to come fill it at that empty one that's facing my tummy. Okay, then since I pulled it from the right, I'm going to turn it to the right. And now this empty spot is again facing my tummy, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, take this one out of its spot and fill it in that empty one. Turn, 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 and empty one to my body. 1, 2, 3. Take it out and pop it in. Now, what's going to happen after a few times is your yarn is going to start to twist underneath. So I just want you to remember, kind of from the ends, from the bottom, to sort of comb your fingers through that yarn to get it untangled. Okay, and the kind of the faster you do, like the sooner you do that every few times around, the better. If you forget and all of a sudden your yarn under here is going to be this big jumbled mess, and it's going to be a little bit hard to get undone. Okay, so we're just going to keep on going. Empty spot to your tummy. 1, 2, 3. Take it out and pop it in the empty one. Turn it. So if I don't know if this might be easier. Some of my little ones, it might help to have that to understand which way to turn. If you're kind of having a hard time remembering, maybe draw some little arrows to give yourself a reminder to turn that way. Okay, so empty spot to my tummy. 1, 2, 3. Take it out and pop it in and turn. Empty spot. 1, 2, 3. And you guys, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's so super simple and repetitive. Turn, empty spot to the tummy. 1, 2, 3. And eventually you're going to be super fast, and you are just going to go lickety split. Now, this is not an immediate gratification kind of thing, okay? It takes a little while for it to start to come out. I have done this one for quite some time, and you can see how it starts to form on that underside because you're braiding together up here and then it's coming out the bottom. They're so cool. Okay. Then when you're all done, you're going to take it off of your cardboard, however, whatever size you want. You just pop off the strings from your cardboard and you can tie it into your knot. And if you want to tie it together for a bracelet, you can do that. If you want to tie it loosely and then slip it on and off, or leave it on all summer, whatever you want to do. Or maybe it's going to hang on your backpack or hang something in your room. They're just really cool to make. And you can do it with all sorts of thread. You could even do it with embroidery thread, which would be so much smaller and like a friendship bracelet. Those look cool too. All right. I hope you have fun with your Kumihimo braiding weave. And I know they're going to be amazing.